Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Flower Patch. My name is Iris Smith, where I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Welcome back, guys. Thank you for your wonderful messages concerning the garland that we did yesterday. I really do appreciate it. I've had a request, I think it was about a week, 7 to 10 days ago. A young lady has said that she's just starting out, but she wants to make a wreath. She's done a few, but she hasn't done one of these. Now, she wants to make a wreath where it is 2 seasons combined. She wants the autumn as well as the Christmas combined together. And she'd like it in orange and navy blue. So, and she also asked if on one side of the wreath, could I just place orange and blue baubles, Christmas ornaments on one side, and then on the opposite side do an arrangement in orange and blue in autumn combined with Christmas. And she does know how to do both. She's been practicing a long time, so she'd like a bow also. So I love a challenge, and I thought, why not? Let's combine 2 seasons together, and let's do the lady something in orange and blue with some baubles and a bow come autumn and Christmas together. So I've got out a 30 centimetre wreath, which is a 12-inch wreath, grapevine. I've already placed the hook on it. I have, this one is a bit, let's say, loosey-goosey. It's not like all the others I've got, but they came in a, on an order that I placed with some tighter than others, but that's just how it is. I don't mind. We work with it either way. So I'm going to go through first of all what we've got. Now, I've done a bow, but I've done it in the fan shape. Basically, the fan shape is where I say it goes from the bottom over to the opposite side. I haven't spread, you know how we spread the loops up, in one position. I haven't done that. I've left it in the fan shape and placed a little bit in there. So I've used, now this could be for Christmas and autumn. So I've used this 1-inch glittered orange with a bit of gold and like a burnt orange pattern in it. And then I've got this silk ribbon, which is beautiful. It is heavily wired. It is a deluxe ribbon, and that just, the orange bounces off of that beautifully. So I thought, let's get that in, and I'm going to probably place that just slightly away from the top, offset. So I've left the tail ends in. I haven't dovetailed them. I've just cut them at a diagonal position and cut across the bottom as well as on the top. So that's our bow. Now I've put picks on all these. Now the reason I'm not placing them, because you can do them another way, where you've got these at the top here, you can place a wire through them and attach, or a pipe cleaner, and attach several together and then place them in. But not all of, as you can see, of my Christmas ornaments or baubles have got those on. They are not because they don't come like that, it's a case of I've lost them. I've checked the buckets, I can't find if they've dropped off, so I don't know where they've gone. So I've had to resort to placing each one, before we started the video, on picks. Now I've got different sizes of and different textures, you know, some with glitter, some matte, some glossy, some, you know, with a little bit of a pattern on them as well. So we've got those, and again there are some glossy, matte and patterned. So we've got those in navy blue and orange. So if they all had the little hooks where the cord goes through on them, I would have placed them all on like a pipe cleaner or a piece of floral wire and threaded several on one piece, but unfortunately I didn't. So never mind, guys, it'll still work out. And for our foliage and floral, I've got out my navy blue eucalyptus with the white seeds. I don't mind the white seeds on. It'll add a bit of brightness as well to it. So we've got those. I don't know if I'm going to use these. I've got them out as a backup, but I've got my very pale orange thistles, and I've got them out basically as well, not just because of the colour, but because the leaves are that texture of lamb's ear and they look slightly frosty, like on a cold winter's morning. Now I've got out, again, for adding a bit of autumn leaves, I've got out my orange maple. I've chopped some down. I've tried to prepare. I've chopped some down, so that could be maybe our background foliage. And also in orange, if I can get it, I've placed a few on single picks of my excuse me, my fern, and I've also got bunches in here in case I decide I want the cluster of them instead. So I've kept them all together. I have got out some glittered blue berries. I've pulled off a garland that I had. Oh, let me just cut that one there. That one's snapped in half, so we'll take that off. So I've got them in the glitter. I've also got out some glittered cypress leaves in navy blue as well. And I found these in the bucket with the blue in. There's 5. Some little glittered floral as well. They're not poinsettias, but I thought I could place just a few of those around. In the orange glitter, I didn't really know what I wanted in orange concerning glitter, so I didn't really get much, but I found these stars. Now they did have a cord on where you could hang them on your Christmas tree. I've taken that off, and I've got a pick, gone through the hole at the bottom and glued it to the back of the star. So I've got 7 of those out, and I found these last 3 in the orange glitter, some 3 little oddments that I found, and I thought, with us using these stars, let's get those in and join it. I've got out, I think, 7 of my mountain pine, mainly just to sort of like fill it up and, you know, give it that Christmas feel as well. And also pine, it's all year round foliage, so I thought we'd add that in. And for a bit of snow, I've got all these, what I've pulled off half of a 8-foot garland, and I've placed them all on single picks, and they've flocked pine needles. And I thought, again, with a bit of snowy effect, let's add those in to give that little bit of Christmas vibe. And finally, I've got out my, I was going to use the variegated one, but I decided against it. I've left this off what I've cut off the garland, my ivy, but then, and I've got another couple of pieces what along in here, but then I've also placed on single picks, pulled a few leaves off and placed them on single picks in case I want them also as filler foliage. So that is what we've got to do for a autumn stroke Christmas wreath. So we're going to do that today. So I'm going to bring the camera down and we're going to start and create a 2-seasonal wreath. So one moment, everybody. So let's bring this down and we'll bring it there. So I'm going to start off with the orange autumn background foliage, just so now I can build up the our boundary and our structure of our wreath, so I know how far I want it to go out. So we're going to start it's going to be half and half. So we'll bring this, oops, up here. If I can get the glue off. I've just cut a few off. I didn't count. I just went a little bit happy with the cutting. So some of these leaves are the opposite way round, but I'm going to, on this occasion, leave them like that because I want it to look like natural with the leaves, you know, the foliage. As you look on your trees or things like that, you will see some of the leaves facing a different direction. So I'm going to incorporate that natural look. And I'm going to bring one out. And from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I am going down towards the center with my stem. So I'm placing them down. And then from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I will place the stems going up in the opposite direction. I wonder, I could bring one in. I may cut this one in half, or I may just take the little bit off the bottom. In fact, I'm going to do it in thirds. So I've got a little bit more control over the foliage. And these will come in towards the center. Like so. And I won't put them all at the same length. I will have them at different lengths, you know, staggering them. again, so it's a little bit more natural. So we'll keep those like that. So that is that one. So we'll incorporate some of a bit of our long stemmed ivy, again to give it that length, because what we're doing here, we are creating our border or our line and structure, and obviously we've come out about here, and that's how far I want to go out. I don't mind with wispy bits, these slightly longer, just to give that movement to the wreath. Let's see if we've got another long piece. And I'm going to go directly opposite and place one in like I have here. One there. And then one there. I'm not going to add in any more of the length. I may place actually one on the inner side. And just have that there. The rest that I may use as filler foliage. But we'll keep these out. And place them there. And again, I am going to get the bow and I am going to have it just slightly offset here. So we'll place in some of our eucalyptus. I cut a few down in advance. I didn't want to be chopping away. I tried to prepare today. And again, I'm going to put this on top of the green ivy. I may incorporate some more of this along the way. I don't know whether to bring one in. Let's bring one what's not got a seed on the top. And we'll do it just like that for now. Again, I won't place any more in just yet. Now I'm going to, at this stage you may think, oh gosh, that looks quite a bit autumn looking. Again, it's a request. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to straight away move on to our Christmas baubles or Christmas ornaments. So the way I like to do it, if I'm using them on picks, whatever colour I've got here for the last foliage, I will do the opposite colour. So it will be a blue. So it bounces off. I don't want it to clash by having another orange because it won't be seen. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place a blue here. I'm then going to go and get a matte blue. We'll place that there. And then I'm going to get an orange. And then we'll place that here. So that is there. So now we've finished with an orange. I want a blue. I will put another orange because I want to like put two of the same colours together and one of the opposite. So I'm going to place that one there. Oh my goodness gracious me. And then I'm going to put a little orange one here to break up all of the blue. And then I've got these smaller ones. And I'm going to place that under there. I can get it in. So we've added that there. So then we'll get, because we've got 3 oranges here, so I want to break that up again with a blue. We'll bring that there. I'm going to bring a small orange around the sides. And if we've got any left, I'll have a look if I need to be filling in. Let me just... Oh, that's the orange one. Let's just put that back in there. And I'm placing them so they are quite close together. Then I'm going to place in an orange here. And I'm using different sizes because it will, you know, fill in. Let's have a look. Let's use a blue there. And I'm pushing them till the bauble, if I show you, till this bit here touches the grapevine. So you don't really need your stems exceptionally long. And I'm using different tones of the colours. And just keep going until you're happy with how it looks. Because you can see a little gap there, I may want to add in another orange in there as well. It doesn't matter if you have, you know, again, oranges next to each other. So I'm going to pop, if I can see where I'm placing it. Let's use and again I will go around the sides after, because what you're looking at wanting to do is create that round shape. Obviously you can see there's a few dips here, but we will go there with our Christmas baubles. Let's have a look. No, I'm going to use, I need an orange. Let's get an orange in again. I'm just going to turn it this way so I can see. I'm going to bring just a blue up here. I feel I need just a blue around here. And we're going to stop just here as well. And I've got these little ones out as well. These are very good for just filling in smaller gaps where you may not be able to get a bigger one in, like that. I'm going to place one of those here. Like so. And again, because I've got the orange foliage here, I don't want to end on an orange. I'm going to put a blue just here next to it. But I'm just going to fill in. And I'm pushing it and following the grain of the grapevine. I had to think then what it was called. So I'm going to end with this blue, what I started with. Let me just get a bit more glue on that. For some reason I can't seem to push that one. There we go. So that will be there. I'm going to put another blue here. Let's use a gloss one because we've got a matte. I'll place that there. Oops, a daisy. And this is all you keep doing as you keep going around. So let's bring another orange in around here. I'm just now going to have a look. I think we could do with one there. And if you want to incorporate a little bit of foliage in, you know, in between the few little gaps, that's okay. Let me just... And I'll bring one here. I'll bring another one. It's not the same. And there's a gap here. I think I need to cut that a little bit shorter. Just to cover that, I've got a gap there. So let's just lift it slightly upwards. Bring that into there. I've got one left and I feel I need one around here. Yes, I do. So I'm going to I can just push it a little bit more. Just, and if you see any stems that pop through, just give them a little cut. I've got one here and one here. I can't get that one. Oh, I can't get them. So that is our Christmas baubles arranged, oops, on the opposite side, going around. I'm going to add on our bow as well, and again I'm going to have that coming slightly offset. If I need to cut the tail ends, I will cut them. I just rather have them longer than I need, and I can cut to size instead of not having them long enough. So I'm going to thread the wire through. Grab the other wire. I'm placing it through my weaving needle. It's easier to thread. Right. And that's how I'd like it to sit. So I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to twist. Cut some of the excess off. We don't need it that long. And then I'm going to turn the wire back inside the wreath. Let me just tighten that bit up so it doesn't scratch on your door or a customer's door or whomever you may be making it for. So that's our bow. Which sits really pretty. Let's see if I can just bend it over for now. Give it so it sticks in the middle. So that's how far we have with our Christmas baubles and our bow and a bit of foliage. Now I want to add in some of the cypress leaves again on this side to give that bit of Christmas feel on this side as well. So let's just get some of the glitter off, open them up. So I want to bring some in where they're nearer to the top of the foliage instead of on the bottom or underside. Get those coming up. Place one where the bow is here. I'm only placing in 5. And then we'll bring one down here. Oops, a daisy. So there we have our beautiful cypress leaves. I'm not going to add any more of those in. Again, I wanted to place the stars in also. You could even add, if you wanted, the stars there. I don't think I'm going to add those in, guys. I think there's just slightly a little bit more pastel in colour. They're not as vibrant, so we'll leave those out. Before we carry on, I want to see about just adding in a bit of our mountain pine, and I'm not going to be placing lots of this in. It's just as well I'm just filling in. Oops, I've dropped a star. Just filling in some areas where I may feel there's got a bit of gap on the outside. And then I'm going to place one here as well. I've only used 4. I'll straighten the bow up as we go along. So because I've only got 3 of these, so I'm going to go top, middle, bottom. So let's have a look. Bring one there. one around the center. And then we'll bring one down here. Oops, that's not gone in. Let's try again. There we go. So we've got those there as well. I've got 3 of these left. If I wish, I could bring one in here opposite this one, and then I could do the same here, just so this is full. So I'll place that one there. We won't need that. I don't think, let me just get a pick. I may. Let's get in these 2 and fill it up around here. And then we'll bring this one in as well. And they do, excuse me, you can bend these mountain pine. So we've created this where it's nice and full. I don't know whether to stretch this out because it looks a little squashed, the ribbon. Let's have a look. I think I may. I may give it a bit more movement instead of looking squashed. Oops. Yeah, I think that's better. So we'll open the bow up. I think because it's cut, there's quite a lot in, it's just squashing the loops. So we've opened it. I think if it was quite more of a minimalistic wreath, I think the bow would have been okay. Right, I've got the stars. Again, I've got 7. So what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to bring these on the outer side. So if I can just see where it's going. Let's have a look. No, that's not sitting very well. You could glue some if you had plenty onto the navy blue bow. Let's try again. There we go. I don't know whether all the others have gone. 7 out. 1, 2. I could have sworn there was 7. Oh yeah, I've dropped one on the floor. Excuse me. I'm going to take that one out and that one and reposition them. One there. Because the wreath is quite loose, if you have some and place it in an area where it is quite loose, it just flops. So I'm trying to create it in some areas from that happening. That's better. Right, I can hear something scraping. I can't see anything. Oh, I don't know if it is that. I can't get to it because it's just near the top. But, so we've done that with the stars as well, and I think one of my stars has just snapped off. Let's glue it back on. I'll probably have to just hold it a little. Let that dry. Right, I've got our blue berries. I feel I need something here. Now, I've got orange berries. I think I don't want to place in too much blue. Let me just grab the orange berries, guys. Now, these are like orange and yellow, but she did say autumn. I think they would look better. Just to incorporate that orange in here. I feel, because it's green, because you see most of it there, yellow and then orange on the opposite side, I will turn them around so the orange is facing upright. Let's add those. Like so. so. Let's turn it over again. So if you have two-toned berries, and it's darker on one side and you prefer the darker colour showing, just position it so the darker colours, you know, sticking up more. Oh, I've got myself caught. I'll place another one here. I don't want. I think I may leave it as just as 3. Let's bring that out a little. Let's just hold back. Right, I've got these little flowers. I'll place the odd one in around the centre. Let's take the band off. I'm going to cut the stem. And I'm just going to add a bit of, you know, floral around. Just pop those in. I'm only dotting these around. Let's bring one under here as well. Just gonna, in fact, I'll place one coming in. Bring that one there. Separate it with the tail end. Then I'm going to go under here and add one in there. As well. So we've got those all around there. Now, I'm going to maybe bring just a little bit of orange again. Just a bit of the different foliage on this side. If you want, you know, with the berries, you could cut the berries off in a little smaller cluster and add those in. I may have a go at that. So I'm going to just place a bit of probably place 5 in. Let's cut them down because I don't want them too long as we've created our our boundary for it, and we want to try and keep within. I don't mind with fern or wispy bits where the heads are slightly longer, but not too long than our boundary. It does, I find it does give that look of movement and different lengths, but I don't like to go too you know, far out than what we're doing. Let's get rid of the glue string here. Place that there, and then we'll have one around here also. I'm going to reposition this star. It's just flopping. So I'm not going to put no more of those in. We have got our flocked pine needles. Again, I will make sure I get the ones that have got the most flocking on them, just to bring in that Christmas theme. I'm going to just pull out a few. Majority of them are really full with the snow on. I don't want to get them where they're too long, so I'm trying to look for the smaller ones because they do come in different sizes. So let's have a look. I'm going to place one definitely here. And I always say, even if you're using these, you don't have to just put one on its own and put another one somewhere. You could have like a cluster of 3. And I you know, I do say it does look nice if you place a cluster of 3 in, that they're not all the same length. They are some longer than others. Again, to give off that natural, like natural growth. Excuse me, let's get another one in. We'll place one here. I can't see. And that one's a little bit longer. So we're just bringing that snow and I'm going to do the same up here near the ribbon, or the bow should I say, and put a little cluster of 3 in. Just having the, again, the snow sticking upwards. I don't know where to put my fingers. like that there. So I've got some. I may just bring some around the outer side. I'm going to bend these over because the wreath is quite loose. I'm just going to bend the tips of my stem over. So, and I'm not going to push it together tight. I'm going to leave it like a U-bend, so then it's wider and the wreath will hold on to it better with it being like that than being quite loose. I just got to find and move all the leaves. That's one. So if you ever do that and you do get a loose wreath, then either place a thicker stem on it or a wooden pick, or if you have a pick machine, but just bend over your stems. I can't seem to get that one. There we go. And I'm placing these around where there's the blue and orange, just, you know, to add that, break two colours up and make it a third, instead of it looking slightly plain without any greenery around it. Now, I'm questioning, bring one. I may bring one on each end at the bottom and top. So again, I'll bend it over. I'm going to take actually this bauble out because you can't see it here, the blue one. Oh, please. Push that in a little bit more. So let's see where I could put this. Maybe there. And then I'll get one more of these to place up above. Oops, the glue. Oh my goodness, the glue. It's just thrown out a lot of glue. Right, I'll get that when it's dry, which won't be long. It's created big glue strings. So we'll place this one up in here as well. So we've balanced that out. And if you want something in the center now of the bow, you could put the blueberries in there, or if you want again the orange, or you could put a bit of both in. Let me see. I think I quite like the glittery blue where the orange is here. let's just have a look. Because we've not used them, I'm going to just place in one here. So I'm going to lift up and just add that there. So what I want to see with the blueberries, let me stand up. Do I place some on the outer side, just where these orange ones are, and have them sitting really far in? Or do I? Let's just get a couple of these, or do I add in? No, I don't want greenery there. It's just straight away sticking. No, it was. I think because we've got one here, if I use two, because you've got one there, do I use two? Or do I use three? Oops, I've just pulled that off the pick. And then have one. Going in there. I'm going to do that. Let me just put that there. And then do I add these other two stars? Yeah. Now that's saying to me that looks nice. Where's that blue? So again, because the ladies asked for autumn into it as well, we've got these in autumn. There's not much really autumn. The fern, the maple, ivy's all year round as well. So is the pine. What could I put in that's slightly more autumn? Let's have a look. I've got those. I've got some Stilby. I think the Stilby would look better. Because I don't have blue autumn foliage. Because usually autumn colours are reds, oranges, golds or yellows, as people see them. I do like the idea of having these in. So because there's a little gap between this one and this one on the Christmas ornaments here, or baubles, I feel, even though I'm going to push it down further, I feel just by having that, and with them being berries and the round like the baubles, that would look, you know, okay. And where these, the blue ones here, place, because I've got two orange stars left, place an orange star, and then where the two blue are here, place the orange star, and then up here place another berry. I don't know where this orange is, place a berry. So then it's got three berries here, and 2 stars, which amount to 5 elements. So we could do that. Let's do it. So we're going to, excuse my head, guys, push that in. Excuse me. Do the same. Let's take that out a moment with the star. Got to make sure I can see a gap there. I don't want them sticking too far out. Again, I want to keep them relatively around where the baubles are. I'm not looking for them to be wispy bits. It's just to blend them in. Like so. Where that is, place a berry. Just seeing where one of the berries is missing, so we'll cut that. I feel that one's a little bit too long, so I'm going to shorten it, like so. And then place the other berry in as well. And place that one up above here. Right, so that's what I've done with those. I'm going to put this strawberry in, give it a bit of the autumnal look back into it. Oh, I've just pulled that off. Let me put these on new picks because they're on paperback. So we're going to see where we'd like these. I'm going to bring one in here where all these 3 blue flowers are. I'm going to just, I can't get that one off now. I'm going to break it up and then I'm going to bring one here as well. I'm just placing them just to see if they look okay in that position. There's a bit of blue around there. Got 3 left. Let's have a look. I may bring one there. So one there. One down here somewhere. Again, I'm just sliding it in just so I can have a look. And then one down here as well. And again, just to bring that autumn look in as well. Carry it going. So let's get these in now. I've decided I can just, there's one. I'll work from top and bottom as I go round. I'll go here first. I'm going to put another, we'll see, I may have put another pine needle in there. So I can see a gap there, so I'm going to do that. Not much of a gap, but enough to, I think, play on my mind. There. And then that's it. I'm going to have to take one of these stars out, guys, because it's, oh, it's broke off of its pick. And I can't get it out, so I'm going to put that pick off. Let's get another pick on it. And let's leave that to dry. There. Now I've just noticed a little bit of a gap here, so I'm going to get a couple more smaller Christmas ornaments. So let's have a look. Excuse the noise, everybody. I'll just get 2 of those. And see if I've got any smaller ones in the blue as well. Yeah. Let's just try these. Oh, what colour? I couldn't remember what colour was here. So I could place that one there. Again, it doesn't matter if you've got the baubles on top of each other. But I don't want them too far on top that it's creating layer upon layer. So what I'm doing, I'm just having a quick look. I think they would be okay there. I wouldn't put any more in there. I could put one here and then this one here, but bring those in a little bit further under. So I'm going to do that just to, you know, make it a little bit more defined in the shape. I can't remember where I've got glue all over my fingers. Well, that one's got one in. Where did I place the other? And let those just dry a moment. Now I've got the star is now dry. We will place this back in. There we go. So let's just add where these gaps are. I can see. I don't know where to hold. Let me cut that shorter, guys. Don't be frightened to, you know, cut your stems really short. I always say for a grapevine wreath, as long as you've got around an inch of a stem to actually go in, that's, you know, that's fine. That, you know, the grapevine will hold that. Did I place that one there? I did, I think. Yeah, so you don't actually need the stem to be exceptionally long. There, that's covered that gap. So we've got that one there, so I'm going to bring that there. Because there's a little dip here near the berries. So I want to... Oh, I've just burnt my skin. Just bring that in there. I'm going to define that shape. Where did we save this one? Here. Next to these berries. And then I think that one went there. So I can see a little hole here as well. Let's move that like that. There we go. Right, so I've got all of those now in. And I feel, let's just see if anything's come through the back. Let's have a look. No. Lovely. So, that is our autumn, late autumn, early winter stroke Christmas wreath with autumn colours in, and then a bit of sparkle for that Christmas period. I can see a glue string. I can't. So that's the request that I've had, and just to give it, it's different. I quite like it when you add a bit of the latter season, you know, the season that's just we're coming out of, and adding it into the Christmas. I think that adds, you know, something quite really special. And I was looking earlier, I quite like the look of the bows, actually, the tail ends, just, you know, folding over and then bending that bottom piece so it can sit like that. You can have it higher if you wish, and just to have that going across in that direction. Now, doesn't that look really, really pretty? I've done them before where I've done wreaths just with the Christmas ornaments all the way around in 2 colours. So yeah, I've done that before, and I think that they are really, you know, if people aren't really into having foliage or flowers, but they just want the Christmas ornaments or baubles in, that's a great way to do. Different sizes, different tones of the colours that you choose, and some with glitter, some with a pattern, some matte, some gloss, you know, things like that, and add that as all around. But if you want like the foliage in, again, it's lovely to either add all the baubles on one side like this, and, you know, the others, the foliage and everything on the opposite side. I think I did right with opening the bow up, because it did, you know, look like it was squashed. So I think that's much better. So let me grab my easel. And it's a beautiful colour together. I've always liked the blues and the oranges, or blues and golds. I think they're really, you know, really pretty. And believe it or not, it does feel like a warming colour as well. So let's just get this on our easel. Let's sit that on. Oh, that's really pretty. Let's just turn that around. And let's bring the camera up. Doesn't that look pretty? Autumn oranges with a bit of autumn foliage, and then some glitter as well with the foliage, just to, again, to bring not just the Christmas on this side, but to bring a tiny bit on this side with some sparkly stars. I haven't brought too much glitter on this side, because I didn't, you know, apart from obviously the berries and the flower and the cypress leaves, because I didn't want it to be too Christmassy on one side and also Christmassy on the other. So I wanted to just put as, you know, not as much, but also make, you know, choose the foliage that will make a statement, like the cypress leaves, with them being long, they will be noticed, and just the smaller little flowers as well. And just by adding a little bit of glitter, that does give off the, you know, again, the Christmas period and spirit. And with the bow, because I was choosing, I was requested navy blue. Again, I didn't want to have a sparkly navy blue. I've got them in glitter, but I didn't. I wanted to keep it quite, it's more of a matte colour. So I wanted to bring that so it wasn't as Christmassy, you know, with both of the ribbons that I chose. Bring one ribbon in that is, you know, gives off that Christmassy feel, but the other one brings silk, you know, where it's matte and it's, you know, you wouldn't think of using it maybe if you're using a lot of glitter. Who knows, some people would. And again, placing the bow offset either from not being directly in the center or the top or the bottom, just slightly in between the top and the center, offset with your tail ends going diagonally across, you know, basically leading towards the Christmas side. And I think that's lovely. And adding these as stillbers in, again, what I've used many times in the autumn arrangements, I feel that that's also added a little extra of the autumn touch to it, as well as the fern and the maple as well. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I hope you like the colour. I actually love the colour. It's it would definitely be noticed if it was on your door at Christmas, late autumn, beginning of Christmas period. It would definitely be spotted. It's a vibrant orange that I've used, not a subtle orange or pastel orange. And also, again, I haven't used pastels in the bow for the orange either, so it would stand out definitely. So if you want to do it like this and do the baubles on one side, or do the baubles the whole way round, again, just remember to use different sizes, basically small, medium and large, or extra large, you know, and then also incorporate different tones as well as different textures with them, like smooth, glossy, smooth and matte, rough with the glitter effect, and then also with your patterns where they're rough as well, a rough texture. Bring those textures in, as well as different tones and sizes. And then, you know, just if you've got too many of one colour around each other, like I did with the smaller one, break it up with the opposite colour and, you know, place that in. But it doesn't matter if you have, like, oh, I've got all these blues here, I've popped in an orange, so it doesn't look odd, because I'm not placing in the baubles where I've got to do one colour of this, one of this. It's a cluster, it's just a big cluster of baubles, and I think that looks really, really pretty. I may get another one and place it here. I've just spotted a gap here, so I may get another smaller one and put that there. But overall, I think that's pretty. So give it a go, guys. And again, I always say, even if it's not in these colours, even if you choose a nice, you know, red and gold, or if you want red and orange, or, you know, again, if you want like blues and silvers, pinks and silvers, you know, red and black, that would be pretty. Or red, the traditional colours, red, gold and green, and have red, gold and green baubles as well. And again, if you don't want a bow in there, just carry on your foliage on one side. Maybe if you want a big poinsettia there on its own, you know, or hydrangea, or a Christmas rose, or peony, anything like that, and you want that there instead of for your focal point, you know, that's great. You know, the world's your oyster what you could place there if you don't want a bow. So have fun and enjoy, guys. I won't be here tomorrow. I won't be back now till Tuesday. Busy day tomorrow, bookkeeping. Who likes bookkeeping? And then, yeah, Mondays as well. I have a lot to do on Mondays also, waiting for a few more deliveries for all the buckets over there. I've got 4 more buckets to fill, and then I've filled the lot. Well, not the lot, I'm leaving 10 spare, so when I get new stock in, I've got somewhere to put the new stock. So I'm leaving 10 buckets open, empty, sorry, but the rest are full. Just another 4 to go. So have a wonderful weekend. Take care, guys. And if it's cold where you are, because I think it was Cindy who reminded me that I'm not sure if it was Cindy, that they had sleet where they live across the pond. Oh, wrap up warm, really wrap up warm. If you've got sleet and, you know, winds and it's very cold, wrap up warm, guys, and stay safe. So all the best, have a fabulous weekend, and God bless, and I love you all, and keep your comments coming. Bye for now. Bye bye. Right, let's just take that off the stand. I've got a feeling it's not going to zoom in, or is it? Oh, it has. Right, there's our lovely bow. Again, as you can see, it's silk. It looks like it's got a bit of a shine. Well, it has. It's got a tiny bit of a shine on it, but it's more going on the way of, I think it's the light from the camera that's making it look like it's quite shiny, but in person it's not as shiny as some of the silk ribbons. And our beautiful lovely with the lighter orange, the burnt orange, and then the gold diagonal horizontal stripes, and our, let me bring that there, and our baubles where we've got these rough textures as I was on about, rough like this and like these, and then the orange glitter to the gloss, and then in the matte, and then you've got the gloss in the blue also, and in the matte as well. And just use different, you know, textures like that. Then you've got these up here what are rough but also in the matte, so use those. I've added in the little blue glittered berries, as you can see, the lovely little orange stars, our stunning glittered cypress leaves with our glittered stars as well, our blue eucalyptus with the white seeds, and our orange autumnal maple with our ivy, and our lovely mountain pine, and our astilbe as well, and then our little blue glittered flowers. Did I add anything else? Oh, and obviously our little pine needles here where they are flocked. Some are more heavily flocked look than others. And then our orange berries too. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I hope you give it a go where it's half and half, and have fun and enjoy. Have a wonderful weekend, guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now. Bye bye.